Hey everybody, tonight I've got the D500 with the Tamron 150 to 600, and what I'm going to attempt to do is capture Comet 46P. It'll be running through visible until around December 22nd, 23rd. Of course, that if you got clear skies. And normally I would shoot with the Nikon D850 in this situation. But earlier this week, a couple of friends and myself went to the Outer Banks of North Carolina, which happens to be some of the darker skies on the East Coast. And we were hoping to get star trails. We were going to shoot lighthouses. And we also had a meteor shower during that time. And then, of course, the comet, which the comet was just coming into view then. And at the time, it was located to the south of Pleiades, which is also known as the Seven Sisters. It's a star cluster that you can see with your eyes. And I couldn't see the comet, but I did take a few shots with the D850 and the 70-200 in the general direction of where it was, hoping that once I got it on the computer and was able to play with it in post-processing a little bit, I could pull it out. And I was able to find it. Of course, we got some meteor shots, and we were successful on some star trails too, which was kind of neat. But tonight I'm strictly looking for the comet, as this tonight is the closest that the comet makes its journey near the Earth, and is supposed to be the brightest. Now, brightest is a relative term in this. It's supposed to be pretty bright, except it's just a big fuzz ball. So that luminosity is coming from the whole ball rather than a center point, which means it's not even as bright as most of the stars in the sky. And I've got a little farm area here that's kind of away from the city. I'm not on the Outer Banks, so I don't have perfectly dark skies, but I'm trying to do what I can with it. Now with the 150 to 600, if I go by the 500 rule, which is dividing your focal length in 500, I've got about a second exposure I can run with this. It may not be enough, so I may have to play with it before you start getting star trails. I'm just playing with it to test it. And I want to see what the 500 will do with these night skies, because I have not shot the 500, the D500, with night skies. So if you're watching this and it's the 17th, it's still in a good position. You've got a few days left to try to get it if you got, open skies, non-cloudy skies. So basically, it's easy enough to find Orion. Most people know where Orion's belt is. It's the 3 stars that are lined up. And we're going to take that and follow that line, and that's going to point to basically a orangish star, which is called Aldebaran, which is part of the Taurus constellation. As you keep in that same line from Aldebaran, you run into Pleiades, which is also known as the Seven Sisters, which is a star cluster you can see with your eyes. When I throw this 600 on it, it fills the frame. But we're going to do that and have the, once we get to Pleiades, the comet should be a little to the left of that line. So if I don't see it with my eyes, I am going to get probably 5 or 6 shots in that area to see what I can do. Now to focus for infinity for this, we've got a bright moon tonight. It's a half moon. And so I'm going to focus by shooting the moon first, locking the autofocus at that point, turning it to manual focus. And then that'll have my stars, because, I mean, the moon is out there. And plus this 150 to 600, where I'm going to be shooting at, is about an f6.3. And that's how I'm going to try to get this. So hang on a second, and I will get back with you outside. Okay, we're out here right now, and you can see the moon right over my head right here. That's going to be my first shot to get the focus set. And let me get that real quick. And you can kind of see on here what it looks like. My focus is set now, so now I'm going to switch this to manual focus. That way it will not change. I am going to go back and make sure that my image is sharp. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see it here. It's a little blown out as far as with the camera here, but it is it's well done. So we're going to change our settings, see what we can play with to begin with. All right, again, you're not going to be able to see this, I am almost positive, but we've got Orion is now behind me, which is toward the east. As far as Orion's belt, I follow that up, and now I'm having to look up, and I've got Alderon. Pleiades is just about in the 12 o'clock position, directly overhead. So this is going to be an interesting shot with this. I might have to play with the legs a little bit, but I want to get this shot, so I'm going to cut you off for just a second. Let's see what we can get here. Hey everybody, I got the shots that I wanted. I got about 5 shots of it, but I did get it. It was really hard to see with the naked eye, and I ended up kind of spraying and peppering the area that the Comet was supposed to be in. But again, overall, I was kind of happy with what I got, considering the gear I've got too. Now, I was using this gimbal head here, which is what I use 95% of the time for anything I use with a tripod. I do like it better than a ball head, and everything stayed pretty steady with it. I didn't have a lot of motion. One thing I did have was some star trails, and that was because with the focal length that I was taking and the length of the shutter being open, it was too much to keep just a pinpoint spot. So you have a little bit of trail in there, which you'll see in the images, and that's not the ideal thing unless you're trying to shoot star trails, and then you're going to have much longer than these. Ideally, you would have what's called a star tracker, and that would be mounted in place of where I've got the gimbal head on the tripod here. And the star tracker allows the camera to follow the stars. It's used for telescopes when people aren't photographing, to follow the stars, so that you don't have to move the telescope and it doesn't cross over. Because when you're shooting a long focal length, you'll be surprised at how quickly it'll go from one side to the other of that lens, of that view area. So a star tracker would be ideal. Now, what I was doing tonight was more or less just trying to become more familiar with this. I don't do astrophotography professionally, but I want to get better at it, and the only way to do that is to get out when you get a chance to do things like this. And that's kind of the key, is to become familiar with stuff, is just to do it. And so I'm happy with what I've got. They're not the best compared to anyone that would have a star tracker, because I can't turn the gimbal at the perfect speed. But anyway, you'll see what I've got, and I hope you get a chance to get out there and try to catch this comet while you can. I mean, we've got about a week left, and if you like this content, please leave me a message in the comment section. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'm hoping to bring you some more of this stuff. And, 2019 is right around the corner, so we're going to be doing some fun stuff in 2019, I think. And until next time, we'll see you then.